Good afternoon, fellow traders. Black Coffee Trader coming to you. Today is Friday, the 31st day of May, end of the month. Glad to see the month come to an end. I had a very tough week, fully red week on the funded accounts. It might be the first one, I think. But the crazy part is today was actually a green day up until the end of the day. I was green on my funded accounts, and I had a mini tilt session. It lasted about, I don't know, maybe 8 minutes. So I'll talk about that here in a minute. But yeah, today really feels good. It feels like a green day. The only account that was red was this 49 account, which is down 440. That is the only red account I had up until the last couple minutes of the day. I was copy trading these four. They were green, and I was stupid, but we'll share that in a minute. Overall, very good day today. I'm quite happy with the adjustments that I made. Definitely went better. I felt a lot better. I was a lot more confident. It was a lot more easier for me to trade today from a mental perspective. The other thing, I had a really good day on my evals. I'm going to be extremely careful with my evals. I do not want to just YOLO evals and blow them. And a big thank you to Apex. Yesterday, I had 2 blown evals in the morning session, and they reset those, which was very nice. I also passed a 50K one today, a one trade. I might show you that one. And then also, interesting thing on my take profit. So let's just go to this because there's a bit of a story here, and I just want to share this. This morning I was copy trading 297, I think it was. Yeah, so I was copy trading. I did not trade the actual news itself. I have not had good luck with that with the copy trader for some reason. So I didn't trade the news itself, but I entered I think, no, it was this one here. I entered a long trade, and basically what happened is when it hit my profit target here, it didn't take me out of the trade. It put me into a reverse position. I tried hitting the close all button like once or twice, and nothing happened. And so I just left the trade. I just left it on. I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do, and me just hitting here, trying to just continue to close this is obviously not going to work. And if anything, it's going to continue to put me in reverse positions. So essentially what it looks like actually happened, even though it wasn't showing that when I was clicking the button, and like I said, I only clicked it like twice, but it put me in a single reverse position. Whenever I don't know how this works and how it happened, but that's what happened. So I had account 297, account 299, and also my take profit eval. And I actually had to leave my office for a while. I had to leave my computer. I wasn't able to really watch what was going on. I'm like, well, whatever. I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't really care. And it was over an hour later till I came back. And we had survived all of this, and I was way down here, $2,500 in profit or whatever. And I'm like, well, I wonder if I can just close this. And I hit close, and boom, it closed the trade. So the good part is I had a nice win on this one, $2,800. Brought that account up from being down a bit yesterday. This was one of the ones that got reset or put back where it was, if you will. This account, this 299 account, it didn't do the reverse. It actually closed it out and left it. And then obviously this take profit one, now I have a $2,695 profit today, and you can only have a 50% profit day. So if your target is $3,000, like it is, typically with a 50K account, you can only have $1,500 in profit. So I reached out to take profit, and I said, hey, what do I do here? Explain what happened. And they reviewed it, and they came back and they said, well, basically what's going to happen now is you're going to have to pass this 50K, you're going to have double this amount. So essentially that is $2,695 times 2. So my profit target's going to be $55,390 in order to pass this account. So I'm basically $2,000 away. which is I'm fine with. I'm totally. I'd rather have that than them just saying, well, you blew the account because you hit more than 50%, of your profit goal. So in any case, interesting how that worked, but I just wanted to share that. So as far as this 298 account, I want to show what I did on that account right here. Again, I'm just being very careful with my evals because I'm tired of just being too careless and losing them. We had a bit of a consolidation here and kind of a flat level, I'll call it. I'm not sure what you would call that, but these wicks were pretty much at the same level. And I just felt strongly after this big move up that we were going to get a move back to the downside. And I just decided to enter here with 10 contracts. It actually entered me because I had my order sitting, and I believe this candle was down here and it came up and just barely caught it. So it put like 4 or 6 contracts in, dipped around a little bit, entered again. So that's why it's in as 2 positions, but it was one order of 10 contracts. I had a bit of a drawdown and I just held on to it. And yeah, just got the full flush and really got $3,200. Just the way the entry is, it doesn't show that fully, but one trade and up $3,200. So that was really cool to see that and have that happen. And it was a trade that was not necessarily on one of my levels. However, I was looking at and trading this level right here. We kind of had for the entire afternoon here, I felt strongly that this 38,365 area seemed to be an interesting level here today during the noon hour and early afternoon session. So that's what prompted that short. So in any case, it's just an eval, but I thought it was worth sharing that. So let's get back to the funded accounts and kind of walk through kind of how the day went and what happened. So one of the changes that I made is, let me just go to this contract because this is the one that I typically, or this ATM, this is what I typically trade. So what I decided to do after yesterday and the way this week has gone is I decided to basically scale down. And scaling down is, for me, ended up being not trading all 11 or whatever. I've had 13 this week, but all 10 or 11 of my funded accounts, I'm not going to trade them all at once. And I decided to break them into groups. So I traded this group of 3, this group of 3, and then I also traded this group of 3, and then but this one was individual, and so was this one. But essentially breaking them into several smaller groups. And what I found was it was a lot easier to take trades. I had less fear of losing, and that's one of the things I really need to work on is I need to be able to accept a loss before I go into a trade. And that brings me to the ATM strategy. I decided to move my stop loss a little bit tighter. I have a very tough time. I do it sometimes, but it is difficult for me to close a trade when it's in drawdown because I have this mental thought that, hey, it might go back up or it might go back down or whatever. It might go back into profit, if you will. So I decided I'm going to change this from a 39 tick stop loss to a 29 tick stop loss. So basically I'm risking 150, and I like this $200 contract and I left it. However, I also created a 150 and I might even create one that's like 25 ticks or 22 ticks or something like that. I struggle with that. I'm just being transparent. I really struggle with taking a small profit. I really like getting 40 ticks, 50 ticks, and I know I don't always get it. However, there's quite a few times that I can get to this, 140, 150 level, which is why I created this account or this ATM strategy. So those are the big change really was just breaking these into smaller groups so that I can absorb a couple of losses and I can live to fight on another day. The one thing, and I'll point this out a little bit, this is a trade that I took on an eval. I think it was this account. No, 299. This was a trade that I got into some trouble on this account here this afternoon, and I was down quite a bit, and watching this move to the upside here in the afternoon session, and we had this big candle and this pullback right at VWAP, and that prompted me to enter a long trade here. And this is why I mean, I'm actually frustrated, or I was frustrated at this trade, that I took the trade off. I took a $700 winner there, one contract. The problem for me is if I take a 20 tick profit here, and I continue this move, or see this move continue, it's one of those things that triggers me to, in a sense, almost go on tilt, and I'll just want to jump into the trade because I don't want to miss out. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. It's just mentally where I'm at, in my trading journey. And it's something that I have to struggle with. So that's the reason that I left my profit targets in that 30 to 40 tick level. And honestly, today, oftentimes I would actually move it up because we just had a lot of volume today. I mean, at the end of the day here, we had volume hitting like 21,000 on the 2-minute chart, which is crazy. So anyway, I don't know if that makes sense or not, but it's just something that I have to deal with, and I want to be able to take those profits if they're there. I did, when I entered this trade, I really thought to myself, man, I should be taking this trade with PAs. Not part of my typical strategy of like trading off the levels or a retest of a level. It's not part of that, but just the way this move happened, we were sitting at VWAP, had a bit of a pullback, and everything was pointing to the upside. Very, very good trade. Unfortunately, it was just on an eval. To kind of round out the day and show you my negativity, let's go to 50. So I was copy trading these 50, 51, 52, and also 50, 51, 52, and the take profit. It was those four I was copy trading here at the latter part of the day. Had a winner here, had a little winner here, and then another little winner, had a loser right here. This was kind of the undoing. We had a loss here, and I think at that point I might have had, I had one winner. After this, I was basically up about $100 across these four, or in each account. And stupid me, this is just, I was just dumb. I mean, I saw that the volume was increasing tremendously, and I was correct on most of my assumption. I mean, here I actually should have taken this trade off here and didn't, and ended up with a $60 winner instead of a bigger winner. And then I had a small $120 loser, and then I went long, which was the right move, but with the volume and the volatility, could not survive. Got stopped out twice. So I took 1, 2, 3, 4 trades in a matter of about 6 minutes, which is absolutely stupid. And that's the reason that these accounts are red today. So that's why today doesn't really feel like a red day, even though it is. It was me just going on a bit of a mini tilt session here at the end of the day. Frustrated because I was green and then had a red trade. This trade right here, the second one, is what put me over the edge. And, I was seeing the market and I was confident that we were going to go to the upside, and then took one trade. It was a loser, took another trade, and it was a loser. So yeah. And at that point, I'm like, gosh, you got to stop. And unfortunately, I'm probably going to lose this take profit funded account, which is really frustrating. We got $49 left in that account. This million is not correct. 48,000 is the level. You've got $2,000 of drawdown. So we've used that up. Anyway, so that's kind of how the day went. But overall, I think I'm going to take this into next week. My goal next week is going to be continuing to take these in groups of 3-ish and continue to trade maybe that 150, maybe the 200. If the market is slower, then I might move to a 25 tick profit target or something, keeping it small so I can hit it. On days like today, there was absolutely opportunity to have bigger profits, and I was able to capitalize on some of that. So like for example, on this the 46 account, I think 3 trades on these 3. They were right here at this level. We had a beautiful retest a couple of times. So the first trade was a loss, and then I had 2 winners. One was 120 and one was 180. Again, those are, I like taking those kinds of wins rather than like a, $80 or $90 or $100 winner. So it's just, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying that's how you should be, but it's just something that I mentally struggle with and have to try to process. But yeah, that was today. One of the other things that I want to mention is Apex did not reset, but they adjusted most of my funded accounts from yesterday. So I was recording a $3,500 loss yesterday, and what they ended up with was $1,700. So I adjusted this, and I still need to adjust my TradeZella to match that. So essentially today was, now what did I do here? Let me bring this thing back up. Well, somehow not sure what I did here. Anyway, basically I've got 1,700. I'm gonna have to close this window down in order to pull that Excel file back up. But I've got a $1,700 loss yesterday versus the 3,500. So apparently with some of the discrepancies that they had yesterday with Rhythmic, they decided to make that change. So that was nice. But yeah, kind of to round out the week, we had a very red week, tough week, but it is what it is. We'll move into next week and hopefully we can turn into green. We have another new month, and hopefully we can continue to do better. Interestingly enough, even though the win rate today was pretty small, honestly, most of that happened there at the end of the day, but I had a decent average win to loss ratio. I didn't look at the other accounts, but my 25K, yeah, see the 25K, I had a 141 win and 135 loss average today, which is really good. Again, just at the end of the day, I kind of killed myself there on the win percentage. So let's look at the take profit account. That one wasn't so good, 63 and 142. But the thing for me is, if making this adjustment on the stop loss and bringing it a little bit tighter is going to help this average win, average loss rate. So anyway, just something that I'm working on and trying to get better at. So yeah, hopefully we can start June off on a good note and have some profits, and hopefully continue to have some progress. I'm probably not going to activate that past eval. I'm just going to let that thing sit, and then, if I need it, then I'll activate it. So that's kind of the goal right now. Apex, crazy enough, did extend that 90% off sale for another 3 days. So it is good until June the 3rd. So we can see that here. And obviously I think I'm sure the take profit, 40% off lifetime, no activation fee promo is still going on as well. So again, my code BCT gets you that deal on take profit, and Apex BBLS TBTS is my code that gets you that deal on Apex. And again, thank you for using my code. I appreciate that. I know many of you do, and I certainly appreciate it. So once again, hope you guys had a great month of May. Hope you had a great week of trading. I am happy with the way that the week ended. Not really happy with the red accounts and what I did here at the end of the day, but today really as a whole was a good day. It was a green day until the end of the day, and I'm taking that as a win. And some of the adjustments I made definitely helped my trading today. I was not hesitant, and that was just a lot better and more easier to trade. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Hold it. I'm almost at 20 minutes already. Thank you once again for hanging out. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the new subs. Have a great weekend. Have a great trading day Monday, and we'll try to have another update for you on Monday afternoon. So long.